Can you talk about what listening has to do with writing and furthering how our bodies can inform that type of listening?
I think that one of the challenges for a lot of us, I know I had it, is to really be with our silence. Our culture doesn't really teach us how to do that, I don't think. And I think that a lot of writing isn't really recording. It isn't so much recording what we know, but it's listening to hear what we don't know. I think writing really requires us to settle enough to get to this depth of ability to listen. It's really about, like, if we take a principle from aikido, which is extension, right? Where we extend our energy. If you think of extending as a kind of listening, I'm extending so that I can feel it more and listen in that way. That's like not just listening with our ears, right? We're trying to listen with our whole system, right? As writers. Does that elucidate at all the listening?
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. As a single father of two teenagers, I have had great difficulty finding the time to relax and write, which I love dearly. How do you balance the physical, emotional, and mental aspects of writing? And how do you deal with criticism or feedback, which I get at times from family members? And this is from Gregory in Houston.
Let's go to dealing with criticism. One of the things that I do talk about in this book is support and being able to feel what support, what, first of all, to ask yourself, what do I need in terms of support? And then to be able to bring in that field of support, or those literal other human beings who do support your writing, your whatever, and bringing them right in. I remember having a client once who made a group, like a literal poster of her readers who supported her as she was writing her book. And she had them there, photographs, whatever they were, with her in her writing dojo so that she could readily refer to it. So I think it's really hard to receive criticism when you're trying to get something out. It's like that needs to be a critic-free zone, I think, the initial stages of expression. And so I wouldn't show it to people who were going to criticize me at that point. Choose well, choose well and feel that support.
I think that's a great point. And before we go to his other questions, I'd like to add to that, because it said, how do you deal with criticism or feedback? So what you dealt with the criticism part, I'd like to deal with the feedback part.
Great.
And the best way that I can put that is that with the first project that I wrote, I showed it to friends, and I got really positive feedback. And then I was on an airplane, and the person sitting next to me was a very good writer, somebody who had written for television and movies. And we started talking, and I asked him if he would read my script, and he did. And in a very, very nice way, he pointed out that what was wrong with it. So he gave criticism, but he did it in a very nice way. And we ended up becoming writing partners from it. But the thing was what I realized was that it's who's reading it. And if they are criticizing it, do they have the knowledge to even be critical?
Yeah.
So in this case, what I realized was my friends didn't want to hurt my feelings, so they told me it was wonderful. And somebody who really understood writing and what it took to get something on the air or on the screen was able to give feedback on what was positive and where it needed help, and then eventually became a writing partner with me that allowed us to now make something much better. So if those are
Yes.
two things that you can take from this, Gregory, as Renee is saying, how to deal with criticism, but also there's ways to deal with feedback, I think, as well. If you like this clip and you want to watch another, click here. If you want to watch the whole episode, click here.